Hey everyone, it's Leo Young, and this is the weekend review of October 15th to October 21st. So this whole week has just been about movies, about movie news, and some tech. So let's go right into it. First of all, the Thor Ragnarok reviews have been released a lot earlier. This shows that Marvel has confidence within its movie. In fact, Rotten Tomatoes says that it is currently at a 98% for IGN, 7.7 out of 10, and for the Den of Geeks, 3 out of 5. So it is definitely the best Thor movie to date. In fact, it beats every DC movie that isn't Wonder Woman. So put that in mind. However, some people did find issue with the tone of the movie itself and the Marvel formula, which is basically the idea every Marvel movie follows. However, on the other hand, a lot of people claim that this movie's greatest strength is the tone. If you've seen the trailer, you definitely know that it's more of a comedy than anything else, than any other Thor movie that there's been. Now, one review says, "This is the most likable and interesting Thor has ever been. Hemsworth is given the chance to do what Hemsworth should have always been given the chance to do. Be funny." So Hemsworth's performance soared alone with just the comedic value, along with but the Hulk and Bruce Banner's bantering along with him. It's like, "Oh, who's the strongest? Oh, I'm the strongest." That doesn't sound right. So I'm very curious and very interested to see the movie. However, some people do believe that the whole tone of the film, of course, like Helen, the actress who plays her, they believe that she doesn't deserve to be at this level. She should be somewhere higher. But it's also, you have to remember that Thor is just helping lead into Avengers Infinity War. And there's some idea that Hela, if she's not, killed, which I do not believe she can be killed, if you are the goddess of death, you are definitely going to be a very major standpoint for Thanos, the character. Now, second part of the news is the Black Panther history has changed for the Marvel movie universe. So if you don't know, Marvel releases these comics, these prelude comics to each movie, helping explain and get everything started. So one thing that they show is that the way to become Black Panther isn't from king to king, but it is if you are, worthy of being the Black Panther. And from what I've learned from seeing the prelude comics, T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman's character, has been Black Panther for almost as long as Tony Stark has, about 8 years, I want to say. So originally in the comics, it is a king to king thing, but it does make sense. If you saw T'Challa's father, he doesn't look like he would, fit in the Black Panther suit. You can also see that in the comics, T'Challa's suit is the same one from Civil War. So it definitely does make sense, because in the movie Civil War, he was able to do a lot of high intense movements. I mean, yes, he was trained, but at the same time, it also takes some understanding and skill of the suit. So that does explain and help. Also, the trailer dropped, and I already gave him a review for that, probably link in the description below. But the trailer does hold a lot more, such as now that I fully understand everything, such as Andy Serkis' character, the Gold Jaguar, I believe that's what Michael B. Jordan's suit is going to be called, or the Gold Panther, one of the two. There's different types of iterations for how the name is, but you never go see the reaction or the review down below. Now, small news, if you remember Gambit the movie, yes, that movie that was supposed to come out, I believe, this year in February, it's still back on track with Fox. It's still planning to be filmed in the New Orleans area. Now, nothing's really changed. Channing Tatum is still slated to be Gambit, but there's not a lot to go on with the movie. I guess that Fox feels that they have so much confidence and strength within Gifted, Legion, New Mutants, Dark Phoenix, X-Force, Deadpool. They want to put Gambit on that slate because he did such a good performance on, well, not Channing Tatum, but the Gambit had such a good reaction on Wolverine Origins, and some people would say he is the best reason for it. So I can see why Fox would want to keep on pushing with a Gambit movie. Now, also, another trailer that was released besides Black Panther, The Punisher, Netflix. Alright, so the trailer shows that Frank Castle's origins. It shows how he ended up being the way he is, that he was in the military and they had him doing some black ops things, the unit that he was in, but Frank wasn't really having any of it, so he leaves. Now, the unit apparently is under the radar of the government, or the law, and some DA or lawyers trying to investigate them. So the only way they can get this woman off their back and not have any loose ends is by killing off people who weren't with them, and unfortunately Frank was one of them. So they aim at Frank and they try to kill him. However, they end up killing his family, and you know the rest of the story from there. So it seems that the entire show itself is basically trying to explain what happened in the military. If you saw Daredevil season 2 and how the Punisher came to be, you understand that there was more to it than just he kills his old commander. These are military soldiers who are aiming after Frank. So I'm kind of curious as to see who he's going to be fighting. If he's going to be fighting like, from the looks of it, it does look like he's going to be fighting the military. I mean, not military, but the state police, U.S. government agents. But I'm very curious as to who the main villain is. If they're going to add, I forgot his name, the police officer from Jessica Jones, because that would be interesting. He does have a tie to the U.S. military in the comics, and he was pulled out of Jessica Jones after he took the drugs. So that would be very interesting. I'd be curious to see if Frank can handle like a bit of supernatural, like superhumans in his caveat, or if he's just going to be fighting mobsters. One thing you do see though is there is other people who are in Frank's similar like situation. I forgot his name. I believe his name is, I want to say it's Weasel or CD. It's one of the two. Oh wow, I'm very bad at this. But he does come up to Frank and says, "You and I are in the same boat. The same thing happened to us." So that's pretty much why he's going to be helping out Frank. Now in movie news, John Carpenter has released a studio album comprising of the themes of his most famous movies like Halloween and The Mouth and the Madness. He's a famous horror director who has created movies such as, again, Halloween, Mouth and Madness, but also The Thing and Escape from New York, which isn't really a horror movie, but is still a great movie. Now what makes the album cool is it isn't just that they are the themes of the movies. He's also composing most of himself, except for The Thing and The Dark Star. The album was set to release yesterday, October 20th. Now for game news. Cuphead managed to reach 1 million copies sold. Now if you don't know what Cuphead is, it is a side-scrolling run-and-gun platformer. The aesthetics takes heavy inspiration from cartoons from the 30s. Every frame is hand-drawn, as are the backgrounds. Now the one thing about the game is it is a throwback to the brutally difficult games of the 80s, such as Contra and Mega Man. It's impressive the game has managed to even reach $1 million in sales, given its status as an indie game. I mean, not $1 million in sales, but 1 million copies. That'd be $1 million, huh? That'd even be good. Have you ever heard of the old saying, gamers never die, they're only born? Probably not, I made it up. Either way, even if I did, Sony might as well coin it. Sony Interactive Entertainment announced a new PS4 gamepad for the wee lads and lasses. The gamepad is reportedly 40% smaller than the average DualShock controller, bulkier, and does not include a light bar, headset jack, speaker, haptic feedback, motion controls, pretty much everything the PS4 controller has and a little bit more. The price for this controller is said to be $30, a lot less than the DualShock 4, and is scheduled for release this holiday season. And finally, the saddest bit of news, the passing of actor John Dunsworth from the Trailer Park Boys. He passed away Monday, October 16th of this year due to a battle with a short illness. Everyone did pretty much talk about it. However, it's still kind of hitting you because Trailer Park Boys also isn't over, and John's character was such a strong and pivotal character within the show, so it does make you wonder how they're going to continue. The Trailer Park Boys Twitter reads, "We are in shock and heartbroken by the sudden loss of our dear friend John Dunsworth. We respect the family wishes for privacy at this time. Just keep John in your memories, and just, if you can, I suppose, give his family thanks or apologies. Thanks for being strong during this time, and we're sorry for the loss. And for the Dunsworth family, that's what I'm also giving to you." And that's, I'm sorry to end on such a sad note, and maybe even an overplayed note, but the loss of anyone is really just a strong blow, and I'm very bad at, the sad, giving news like this. I'm mainly a happy, fun type of dude. I've never thought I'd be giving away news that someone had actually passed or anything like that. So, but yeah, let's leave that news. That's pretty much all that we could find that this week, besides the whole microtransactions, not release, but the shutting down of that one Visceral. I'm sorry, the company that was helping make a Star Wars video game, and there's all that. There's a lot this week. Couldn't cover it all. I'm sorry about that, but I hope you guys did enjoy. Personally, for me, my most interesting bit of news was the PlayStation controller. It doesn't seem to have a touchpad. From the way Sony made it seem, the control, the joysticks will act as the touchpad in a way. So I guess you click down on it and you control it from there. But I'm also interested to see Thor. Oh right, one thing about the Punisher thing though is the trailer is said that the show is going to drop November 17th. November 17th is the same day that Justice League comes out, so Marvel believes that a Netflix show can fight the DC movie of the year. So I'm very curious to see how that's going to end out. But either way, I hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget, this is Impressive Graphics News. I'm Leo Young, and we will definitely be seeing you in the next one. Peace.